Hello everybody and welcome to Tosu Show, and today we're playing Citizen Sleeper. And why I'm playing it is because Citizen Sleeper 2 actually is leaving Xbox Game Pass. So I wanted to play first Citizen Sleeper and then we're gonna play Citizen Sleeper 2. As simple as that. I always heard some good thing about Citizen Sleeper, so it makes me curious. I don't really understand what kind of game it is because it looks like a visual novel but with some tactical RPG element or something like that. So I don't know what to expect. Oops. My hope is that it's mostly a narrative experience, but we'll see where it goes. Obviously English as a language, and let's new game, empty. Okay, and you can choose a character class, so I can be an operator. I can play an extractor. I can play a machinist. And that's it? Okay, let's read for each of them. So, machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk efficient extractor. Change to gain random scrap item or engineer action. So you're good with engineering, interface, but you're bad with engage, approach a problem head-on. When you're an operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. And the perk transfer intercept, change to gain cryo on interface action. In this case, we are good with interface, but use strength or strength of will, we are actually -1 here. And finally, we have extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. And we have a perk of photosynthetic skin, sunbathe dissection, low energy recovery at home. So you're good on endure, but approach problems with awareness, you're bad. Huh. Maybe let's do the machinist because you're an engineer. Alright, let's get started. There's a lot of games like that I never played, like Disco Elysium. I heard so many good things about that game, but I never played it. One day. Anyway. Unknown. Where are you? The first thing you become aware of on walking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body or forget that body. Well, let's think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dual nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. Remember the others. Let's remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. Dan, whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. Dan that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and awfulest rock. Even if in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Wait for the cold or try to rest. Let's wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are duly aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. By the way, if I press X, you can see that I can look at the item. Anyway, continue. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge his false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoiling to a dream of when you were once a person. So you forced me to rest. Okay. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too. Everything screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its senses. Then light. White as a cloud. White as the cold, sorry. Softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Dragos, pragmatic salvager, and we can see things. Well, let's go to Dragos. Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a Mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving elements of an improvised eater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with foggy eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all fought yet? You can say almost or stay silent. Let's say almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hold plates or inside outer locks is, in my time, no one so lucky. Dragos come into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living zebras that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tag, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. What happened to them? Or stay silent. Let's just say what happened to them. He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get enough familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you don't know is what's ahead. At least that last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. It's an ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it, from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? I'll stay silent, so let's just say the eye. The eye? The stations! You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been putting in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. All right. You head on up there. You looks like you need some rest. And with that, the Dragos stalks back into the wrecks. His drone already converging on a wrestling Hulk. Plasma flashes silhouette his spindly figure as he returns to work. Okay. Tutorial introduction. Welcome to Ernlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. So it forces me to actually rest. So you can see that there's an empty container, which is our home for now. And I guess that's about it. So if I press RB, it shows my character. And you can see that I can give upgrades points eventually to get more of everything. But yeah, there's not that much we can do right now. Let's go to sleep. End the cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Okay, let's get going. Oh, it seems like a very narrative-driven game, so I need to talk a lot. Container, first year walls. You web curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, putting the Myla, I don't know how to say that, Myla, blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the other make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape, getting answers, or building a life? It's good to get answers, so let's get answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What Essence Harp did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The question outnumbers the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The Mila blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell watches over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, a station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin, a constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns, burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Okay, tutorial. Condition, dice, action dice, and energy. 1. Condition. The condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but you can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay, so that's the flickering thing, like the first bar, as you can see. The second is action dice. The second bar that you see at in the top center. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay. Energy, number 3, which is the white bar, that is the number 3 in the top center. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay. Right now it kind of seems complicated because you don't know much, but anyway. Okay, let's leave. Okay, Dragos. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly eye-rising. How are you feeling? I guess okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe, he pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Work? Sure, why not? Let's go work. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, in simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we put out some tech, something with a bit more value, but more of what comes is in scrap. It is hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few cheats of commission based on what you turn up. Cheats? Got it. Let's ask what cheats. These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Airwall cryos isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffed them back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, it trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses, I need the help. Why? Happy to. Well, he was nice with us, so why not helping him? Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you are feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay. Passage into the low end with low end gate. Draco's yard, decaying scrapyard, or coming back to our empty container. Obviously, it makes more sense to just go to Draco's yard right now. Okay, tutorial action, 1 out of 2. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, select it with the digital pad, or what they call that nowadays, D-pad probably, and A, and then choose an action dice to assign. And here you can see that this repeatable action, hold this action, engineer +1, even the rest your hood can add valuable component and material, extracting them, blah blah blah, and the manual salvage, which is endure. But anyway, actions reward you with clock, progress, energy, condition, or items, depending on the outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice affect the outcome as follows. If you have a 6, it's 100% of chance. If you have a 5, it could be 50% chance positive, 50% chance neutral. If you have a 3 or 4, it could be 25% chance positive, 50% neutral, or 25% negative. And if you have white 1 or 2, it's 50 neutral or 50 negative. Action display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that applies to that action. 1. Type. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. So you can see repeatable action on both of them here. So here we can repeat. 2. Risk. Either safe, risky, or danger. But you can see that there's 3 colors. There's the safe with no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. There's risky. Negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. And red, danger. Negative outcomes mean condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. Number 3, you can see on the skill, it's either an engineer or endure in this case here. But they could be engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. And then there's a modifier. Either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some action require a +1 to perform. Alright, so you can see that we have 2 potential choices. Either we can do the hull dissection, which is engineer +1, but it's risky. And right now, my first dice is a 3, but it will become 4 because I have a +1. Or I can do the manual salvage. But in this case, I know that I'm safe. Alright. I know that it's kind of weird, but because we have a 3 and a 6 up there, it seems to me, and plus I'm an engineer as far as I'm aware, let's do the hull dissection. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, I can select the ones that I would... I can select the dice. I make things easier. Like, for example, here I can just do a 6 and then just call it a day. Or I can risk any of those 3, but let's do a 6. So like that we know that we're gonna have it, for sure. You see that 100% positive was good, but here it's risky, and I could actually, with 4, I could potentially fail for 25%. Okay, let's do a 6 to make sure that we get it. But you can see also that on the cycle clock down there we have a debt calling. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. Or back in business. Every salvager now, they are always just one lucky hole away. Okay, let's do that. Let's do the hull dissection, which will succeed. Okay, actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your action and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Like for example, we can be back to business. We got 2 of those right now as clock. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Okay, any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. So right now you can see that I could either leave or I can continue. Let's continue for a moment here because... Oh, tutorial. Drives and navigation, 1 out of 2. In Citizen Sleeper, you can unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing a specific objective depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu with LB. And then 2 out of 2. You are now free to explore Erlin's eyes and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food and keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. And remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Scroll the station with LS or RT, rotate the camera with the RS, and good luck. Let's actually do the manage salvage right now with one of the 3 dice, okay, which should most likely be either neutral or positive, hopefully not negative, but we'll see. Oh no, we got a negative outcome. Looks like. Oh well, let's can see here that I can have some money and I have a scrap component. Let's look around. We have a shipyard. Okay, we have an empty container which is our home. We have Drago stuff. We have a dock C4. We have a rotunda. We have a B2. We have a bright market. Let's go to the dock C4. Alien Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the alien system are rare, but those do always return eventually. It doesn't seem like I can do anything here, so let's go to the rotunda. Okay, on the rotunda I have actions. I could technically do the steel docks plan, but it's too dangerous right now. Or I can explore the rotunda. But those are risky right now, so let's see. The dock B2, is there something? Salvage shorties? Doesn't look like I can do stuff. You need access to corporate pharmaceutical, otherwise the capacitance will come to rapid end. Okay. What do we have in the shipyard? Well, the risky is with an engineer, so maybe. Okay, let's take the risk. Yes, positive outcomes. That's a good thing. Well, I just have 1 now, so I cannot do much more. Let's Let's explore the rotunda with a 3 here. I know it's risky, but let's see what's gonna happen. Ah, it became negative. Okay, unfortunately, I cannot do much. I need to go back home and sleep. Container. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station that shifting skeletal rings surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then, a connection begins to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange, and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of textures in a smooth black liquid. Let's touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it. Pulse through it. Follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them, too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow, it is pulling in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shut off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Okay, I'm starving, so that's not a good sign. But I don't know what to do. Okay, bright market. It has to be something that I can... I don't understand how I can eat something. Let's take the risk. Okay, it's neutral. I need food. Let's do a 5 here. Okay, local knowledge. That's good. The bright market. Oh! Now we can go to see a doctor. Sabine, Slum Doctor. Perfect. Hab block. A decaying habitation block. Next! Comes a call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue of tests of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, your body will... You suppress a shiver and shuttle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Let's look inside. You lean against the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "What's your turn?" he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you can catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor of ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of a bright market-sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Sabine, a doctor in the bright market. "Come sit," calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouette figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. "Please sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on this station?" they ask, the scanner still in their eyes. "A few cycles." They nod. "It's good you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose, to prevent bodies like yours, frames as we call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frame decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNR remains the sole producer of. They look up. "Sound familiar?" "Yes, no. How do you know this?" They shift in their seat. "You and the first sleeper have encountered." You wait for more, but they go back into the inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulation like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. An innocent app has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up, as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you." We turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, waiting them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh. And you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice, their gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implant, swab their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporation on Ember. If you can source a stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Thank you. Let's just say thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dabbled by their shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have the lead. You nod and leave. Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof, to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. I cannot do anything here. I cannot do anything here either. Maybe we can help Dragos again. That's a risk, but let's do it. No, negative outcome. Well, we have no choice but to go sleep. What do they mean by complete active scene? Oh, is something new that popped up there? Amphi, street food vendor. Oh. Okay, that's where we're gonna stop for. But this is good because that's where actually we can have some food because we're starving and I didn't know what to do. But anyway, as you can see, Citizen Sleep has a very nice style. I like the ways that they draw those characters. I think it looks pretty cool. I think also like it's more like think about it like a game where it looks like you're reading a lot, but you also have certain choices, and those choices and some of the lucks that you have can lead to different outcomes. Kind of like those tabletop games that you can play and, just leave it to luck sometime. Or to smartness and things that you can do to progress or fail, And I like the style. I like the ways that it's done. It looks really cool. And it seems like a lot of story. So, yes, it's not an easy game to play as a let's play like I just did here. Or what I mean by that, like as a game reaction. But I'm actually curious. I'm very curious. It kind of reminds me like of that franchise of Shadowgate, right? Like it has that style, it has that feeling, it has that sci-fi feeling that I like. I'm curious. I'm really wondering, but who are we as a sleeper? Like, why did we become a sleeper to begin with? And is the story about that too? Anywho. Alright. Thank you so much for watching Tasso Show. I hope that next time I can do Citizen Sleeper 2 before it's gone from the Xbox Game Pass. But this one so far does not have a date of leaving the Xbox Game Pass. But it could. It could always have something like that. But unfortunately, I wouldn't know. Up until the future comes up. Alright, thank you so much for watching Tasso Show. I hope I give you an idea of Citizen Sleeper. Alright, To that, everyone. Bye bye.